Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to exciting archaeology news. Embark on a riveting journey through ancient Egypt. Witness how this audacious pharaoh, Akhenaten, defied tradition, revolutionized religion, and reshaped history. Uncover the shocking revelations about his reign, from persecuting traditional gods to transforming art and architecture. As the mysteries deepen, questions arise. What drove Akhenaten's radical transformation? Where are the answers to the uncertainties surrounding his reign? Join us as we unravel the secrets of the Sun King's legacy. But before we embark on this journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button to stay tuned for more riveting tales from the past. In the 14th century BC, ancient Egypt thrived, and religious fervor became increasingly integral to Egyptian life. Amidst this backdrop, a daring pharaoh emerged, seeking to revolutionize age-old traditions. Akhenaten, formerly Amenhotep, defied norms by compelling Egyptians to forsake their pantheon for the exclusive worship of Aten, a singular deity. Branded a heretic and rebel, Akhenaten introduced monotheism, a foreign concept that left an indelible mark on history. Born Amenhotep, meaning Amun is content, he was the second son of Amenhotep III and Queen T. The pharaonic mantle unexpectedly passed to him after the demise of his older brother Thutmose. In 1353 BC, following his father's death, Amenhotep ascended as the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty, adopting the title Amenhotep IV in Thebes. His union with the renowned Nefertiti, his great royal wife and queen of Egypt, added a romantic dimension to his reign. Despite having multiple wives, Amenhotep and Nefertiti shared an intimate connection, evident in the birth of at least 6 daughters, but notably no sons. Nefertiti, a powerful queen, wielded considerable influence as the second most powerful figure in Egypt. A limestone bust, crafted by her royal sculptor, immortalizes her as one of the most iconic figures from ancient times. Upon ascending the throne, the cultural landscape of Egypt was steeped in the worship of numerous deities, among which Amon held a preeminent position, regarded as the paramount god. While other gods like Ra and Osiris also garnered reverence, Amon stood as the most venerated deity in the Nile Valley, serving as the focal point for various religious cults. Despite the diversity in worship practices, these cults shared a common ethos centered around the principles of balance and eternal harmony. The ascendancy of the cult of Amon was marked by a steady accumulation of influence and wealth over centuries, reaching a pinnacle during the reign of the new pharaoh. Remarkably, the priests dedicated to Amon had amassed wealth and status comparable to the royal family, with reports suggesting their ownership of extensive lands surpassing even that of the pharaoh himself. This unique power dynamic, where the priests of Amon rivaled the pharaoh in wealth and influence, likely played a pivotal role in shaping the subsequent transformative actions taken by Akhenaten. The burgeoning strength of the Amon cult, coupled with its considerable wealth, set the stage for a complex interplay of religious and political dynamics that would significantly impact the course of ancient Egyptian history. In the initial half-decade of his rule, the pharaoh permitted the veneration of traditional Egyptian deities. Yet, under the subtle influence of his mother, Queen Ti, his devotions gradually honed in on a singular god, Aten. Aten, originally an aspect of the sun god Ra, takes the form of a radiant sun disk with extending rays adorned with small hands. The renowned stela of Akhenaten visually captures the royal family, seemingly touched by Aten's rays. While Aten worship wasn't unprecedented, the fervor reached new heights under Akhenaten, surpassing even the reverence shown by his predecessor Amenhotep III. In a profound display of commitment, the pharaoh, in his 5th regnal year, underwent a transformative name change, adopting Akhenaten, meaning the living spirit of Aten. By the 9th year of his reign, Akhenaten not only declared Aten as the supreme deity, but asserted its exclusive right to worship. Regarded by many as the inception of monotheism, Atenism, in essence, leans more towards monolatry or henotheism, acknowledging a single deity while not disavowing the existence of other subordinate gods. This radical theological shift marked a pivotal moment in ancient Egypt's religious landscape. In a radical departure from tradition, Akhenaten, the young pharaoh, commanded the desecration and destruction of temples venerating Amon, along with a strict prohibition of any depictions of gods other than Aten. This abrupt shift toward monotheism, with Akhenaten declaring himself Aten's sole messenger, displaced established priest and religious leaders. Despite the aristocracy perceiving this transformation as a threat, they reluctantly acquiesced to the pharaoh's reforms. Amidst this upheaval, priests of Amon clandestinely safeguarded texts and artifacts from Akhenaten's iconoclastic fervor. As Akhenaten's reign progressed, he elevated himself and Nefertiti to the status of actual deities, demanding worship. However, the populace, labeling him a heretic king, viewed Akhenaten as a rigid tyrant who eradicated Egypt's traditional religious practices. Simultaneously, the pharaoh initiated the construction of a new capital named Akhenaten, or Horizon of Aten, later known as Amarna. Strategically positioned between Thebes and Memphis, Akhenaten envisioned Amarna as a sanctuary for his new religion, free from reminders of the old gods. Leveraging his wealth, the pharaoh erected numerous open-roof temples and monuments across Amarna, allowing sunlight to cascade upon worshippers. The city, oriented eastward, aimed to harness the morning sun's rays onto its temples and doorways. This unconventional architectural choice, frustrating royal envoys, prompted an Assyrian king to question Akhenaten's motives, stating, "Why are my messengers left exposed to the sun?" Akhenaten and Nefertiti, mirroring the sun's journey across the sky, traversed the city by chariot, solidifying their divine narrative within the horizon of Amarna. Akhenaten's era, known as the Amarna period, stands out in history as subsequent pharaohs relocated the capital back to Thebes. The period produced some of Egypt's most captivating artwork, providing a glimpse into the daily lives of the royal family. Notably, Akhenaten's artistic depictions reveal peculiar features, alien-like characteristics such as slender necks, elongated head, pronounced chin, and peculiar eyes. Speculation surrounds these depictions, with some suggesting Marfan syndrome, an inherited disorder affecting connective tissue and causing disfigurement. However, given Akhenaten's lineage, the likelihood of this disorder is debatable, especially considering other family members like Nefertiti portrayed in a similar fashion. A more plausible explanation emerges: the art intentionally crafted to accentuate their divine status, adding an enigmatic dimension to the legacy of Akhenaten and his family. Akhenaten, in his self-proclaimed divine stature, seemingly dismissed the intricacies of politics and governance, a stark departure from the diligent efforts of his predecessors in bolstering international relations. This neglect, evident in the Amarna letters, proved to be a significant letdown for both the Egyptian populace and their loyal allies. The correspondence, notably from Rib-Hadad, the king of Byblos, shed light on Akhenaten's gross negligence. Over 50 pleas for assistance were sent to the pharaoh, urgently seeking aid against the impending threat posed by Canaanite leader Aziru, who was poised to besiege Byblos. Additionally, Rib-Hadad implored for support in quelling unrest among his resentful peasant class. In one poignant letter, the beleaguered king expressed, "The people of Amia have killed their lord, and I am afraid. Like a bird in a trap, so I am here in Byblos." Akhenaten's response, however, was marked by frustration, questioning Rib-Hadad's persistent correspondence with a terse inquiry. "Why do you alone keep writing to me?" Tragically, the consequence of this neglect unfolded swiftly as Rib-Hadad succumbed to the onslaught of his adversaries. He was dethroned, forced into exile, and met his demise at the hands of Aziru. This chapter in history stands as a poignant testament to Akhenaten's detachment, a deviation from the diplomatic legacy carefully cultivated by his predecessors. In the intricate tapestry of ancient alliances, Tushratta, the Mitanni king and staunch ally of Egypt, bestowed his daughter's hand upon Amenhotep III, Akhenaten's father. Following the demise of his father, the youthful pharaoh wed the Mitanni princess, elevating her to the status of one of his lesser wives. Yet, beneath the surface of this matrimonial alliance, discontent brewed. Tushratta, through a series of missives, voiced his grievances over the non-fulfillment of the promised bride price, originally agreed upon as solid gold statues. Instead, he lamented receiving gold-plated wooden statues. While Akhenaten engaged in diplomatic matters, his commitment wavered, particularly when topics failed to align with his personal interests. A discernible shift unfolded as the pharaoh redirected his attention towards profound religious reforms and the intricacies of palace life. The complexities of diplomacy took a back seat to the fervor of his internal pursuits. After a tumultuous 17-year reign, Akhenaten's demise led to his interment in a necropolis east of Amarna, as specified in burial directives inscribed on a stela within the capital. The inscription dictated the creation of a tomb in the eastern mountain of Akhenaten, ensuring a burial resonant with the millions of jubilees bestowed by Aten, his revered father. In the aftermath, Akhenaten's sarcophagus faced desecration and obliteration, prompting the removal of his mummy from the necropolis. There is a belief that it found a new resting place in the Valley of the Kings, yet the unambiguous identification of Akhenaten's remains continues to elude archaeologists. Notably, the sarcophagus underwent meticulous reconstruction in the 20th century and currently resides in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, a tangible relic of a bygone era. After Akhenaten's rule, two pharaohs, Smenkhar and Neferuetin, briefly followed before his son, Tutankhamun, ascended the throne. Tutankhamun, renowned as the famous boy pharaoh, marked the conclusion of the Amarna period. Advisors persuaded him to forsake Atenism and restore the traditional worship of Amon and the old gods. In a symbolic gesture, Tutankhamun changed his name from Tutankhaten to Tutankhamun, signaling his allegiance to Amon. He abandoned his father's city, Amarna, re-establishing Thebes as Egypt's capital. Tutankhamun's successors, notably Horemheb, dismantled Akhenaten's constructions, repurposing the materials for their own projects. Horemheb went to great lengths to erase Akhenaten from historical records, successfully omitting the heretic pharaoh's name from later Egyptian king lists. This meticulous effort by Horemheb reflects a deliberate attempt to expunge Akhenaten's legacy and further solidify the return to traditional religious practices in ancient Egypt. The unearthing of the Amarna site in the 19th century stands as the pivotal moment that brought Akhenaten, an erstwhile obscure figure, into the spotlight of global awareness. Initially scorned and branded a heretic, Akhenaten's legacy has now eclipsed that of his detractors, who have faded into historical oblivion. Despite the initial animosity surrounding his rule, contemporary scholars and thinkers offer a nuanced perspective on this religious revolutionary. Akhenaten, credited as the first recorded monotheist, is believed to have wielded a profound and enduring influence on world civilization. Sigmund Freud, the eminent psychoanalyst, posited that while Atenism predated Akhenaten, it was he who introduced the transformative element that evolved into monotheism, characterized by the concept of a universal god and exclusivity. Freud suggested that the adherents of Atenism, compelled to leave Egypt following Akhenaten's death, found a leader in the Atenist priest, Moses, eventually contributing to the genesis of Judaism. Though direct links between Atenism and Judaism remain elusive, striking parallels between the two faiths abound. Akhenaten's radical departure from polytheism, whether driven by a desire to quell the ascendancy of the Amon cult or spurred by a genuine religious revelation, set a precedent that reverberated through history. His rejection of the established pantheon is seen as a catalyst that played a pivotal role in shaping the trajectory of monotheistic religious faiths in the centuries that followed. As we draw the curtains on our exploration into the enigmatic life of Pharaoh Akhenaten, a profound figure whose influence reverberated through the corridors of religious history, we find ourselves immersed in the mysteries of a revolutionary era. With a legacy that defies convention, Akhenaten's journey unfolds as a captivating tale of religious transformation in ancient Egypt. Don't miss out on future revelations. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button to stay connected with our ongoing odyssey through the annals of history. Stay inquisitive, dear viewers, as we continue to unearth the secrets that lie beneath the sands of time.